This is episode 264 of the Super League Pod, and we've got new games to talk about. We'll run through your fan views on the comings and goings on down under. How can learning Dutch come in handy on a rugby league podcast? Which old man still has the legs for a chase back? Who's got the sexiest left to right pass in the NRL? And what rec games do fans want to see now there's no Ashes? All questions answered. So get strapped in, 'cause it's SLP time. Hello listeners, welcome along to episode 264 of the Super League Pod, and it's back! We get to talk about live rugby league. Yes, it might be that we're stepping on some toes of our Australian friends by doing just NRL games, but I'm sure they won't begrudge us it. So we stay sort of locked down, and they are back out on the field, so that's really exciting. You got this week. You got myself, Mark, and we've got Alan. Welcome along, Alan.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, it was either that or we talk about snooker and horse racing. So I know some people might want that, but I think we're probably better focusing on the rugby league. Yeah,
do you know? Because the only other of the sort of live sport that we can see that I've seen any of is the bits of golf they've been doing on Sunday nights on Sky Sports. That's it, because I don't have whatever you watch Bundesliga on, and I've not got much appetite for behind closed doors football in a competition I've never had any appetite to watch before anyway. And I didn't know about the snooker, until I think last night I was reading something that snooker's back in some way, shape or form. So I didn't know about that. But
yeah, there you go. Yeah, so we'll definitely talk about the league instead.
Yeah, but Rugby League's back, and that's definitely the most exciting thing for everyone. And even if these other sports are going on, our sport's on at a time when nothing else is going on because it's in the morning.
Having said that, though, I mean, I've got to say, because spoiler alert, I've watched every game this week, so I've been watching them at all times. So, but yeah,
yeah, true. It wasn't until about 9 o'clock on Thursday that I got to actually watch the first game, but at the weekend I managed to capture some of the games live, which was very exciting.
Very good.
But you've got some takes, which is going to be exciting. Do you want to tell us who sponsors this episode before we get into any hot takes?
Yep, so this episode is sponsored by Rob's Toy Shop. You can find a wide range of toys, gifts, rugby league birthday cards and more at Rob's Toy Shop on eBay. Visit stores.ebay.co.uk/Rob's Toy Shop, and on any order over £5 you can earn 5% cash back, and also 1% of your order value will go into the SLP coffers, but only if you put SLP discount at checkout.
Yeah, make sure you keep Rob's Toy Shop busy. I'm sure lots of outdoor fun time toys will be available as the summer now is well upon us. Talking about what's upon us tonight, though, or today when you listen, because we record it at night, but no one listens to it at night, do they? I don't know.
Maybe one or two.
Yeah. Not the night we record it anyway. I genuinely don't know what people's habits are for listening, because obviously I don't listen to it back.
Well, no,
I edit bits and pieces, and that's it.
I've got to say, it wouldn't surprise me if people's habits have changed, in terms of, because I know that I'm listening to a podcast on my kind of late evening walks, rather than my commuting time. But it'd be interesting to know how people's habits have changed and how they're managing to fit a 2-hour podcast into their schedules now.
Yeah, well, I've been listening to them whilst I've been working, and this morning I listened to the first episode that came out last week of Jackson Hastings' new podcast, and that was that was SLP length. It was over 2 hours. So Jacko was my company through most of my morning at work, which was it's always nice to have something in the background that's interesting but inconsequential, as it were. So we're gonna talk a bit about some news. There's news around the international game, and in particular that we'll be getting to once we hit the end of that. So we'll also within that talk about the poll that we ran last week, which I promised and then nearly forgot to post but remembered to in the end, which was kind of without the Ashes, what option for England would you prefer? So we'll go through what people said about that, which will be good to revisit. Then we've actually got more like a normal show because it's going news and then it's going match reviews, but instead of the Super League match reviews, we've got the NRL round 3 results, fan reviews to go through. We've got fan reviews in on all but 2 of the games. Probably not hugely surprising. It was some of the earlier games maybe that we didn't get as much in on, but in terms of the Saturday and Sunday earlier kickoffs, the UK time. So we'll take you through all of that, and we've got a match review from another match as well to talk about, which I think it's about time you got your own back on me on these other match reviews that we get, Alan. So it's going to be good to get to that one.
Definitely.
I've got a quiz for you, which may kind of be linked around the results of the poll that we ran. So look out for that. So we've got plenty to get to, and without much more ado, let's get into the news.
Let's go. So we move on to the news, and some good news to start, which is rather unusual at the moment. But anyway, the Rugby League World Cup 2021 has announced the latest recipients of its large grants for community clubs and organisations. So these 5 successful projects, which are part of the tournament's wider Inspiration All Legacy initiative, will receive a total funding of £835,000, which contributes towards a total £2 million investment. The Created by Capital programme is focused on improving existing facilities or creating new ones with the aim of building community hubs and encouraging more people to play rugby league, as well as delivering a wider social impact to the local residents of communities in which they are based. So the grants have been awarded to these clubs, with some of these projects nearing completion.
Yeah, and the first one is, why did I got this one? Because I can't pronounce this word. By the way, before we get to Drillington...
Driglington, yeah.
Yeah, that. Before we get to that, how many pats on the back does the person gave themselves who came up with Inspiration All? Like, someone has been, I am the most creative mind that exists about that.
That's a classic, right? I've, brainstormed the hell out of this.
That's posters around the office sending your ideas, isn't it?
That's post-it notes. That's let's theme this, and let's look for
I'm envisaging
themes
all teams in the company had like a standing agenda writer on that month's team meetings to sort of come up with an idea, and one lucky person came up with Inspiration All.
Inspiration All.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so Driglington ARLFC, whatever, in Leeds. Their project will see the club relocate their clubhouse facilities to the nearby community library and hall. The facilities will be refurbished so that it can be a multi-purpose community space, and the 4 existing changing rooms will all be refurbished. The project will help secure the future of the library and community centre, which are valued community amenities, as well as providing improved facilities to encourage more people to get involved in rugby league. The project is already underway and is due to be completed in June. So yeah, a fantastic all-round community initiative there that Driglington
yes.
going to benefit from.
Yes, you've got to do it in your best Yorkshire, yeah. Driglington. Yes, next one. Moving
like you
up
got
north.
Phlegm in it, like
yeah.
You're saying the word, but you're coughing phlegm in the middle.
Yeah, I'll tell you, learning Dutch comes in handy with your phlegm production. Next is the Wathbrow Hornets in Cumbria. So they're building a purpose-built 24 by 20 metre indoor training facility with an artificial playing surface, which will be constructed to provide a new space for all their sides and age groups, further protecting their main pitch, which obviously gets a lot of hammer up there, and providing more opportunities for young people to learn skills in a better environment. The facility will also act as a community exercise and fitness space, hosting daily sessions.
Yeah, kind of one of those exposed grounds, isn't it, where Wathbrow play in
yes.
sort of the western edge of Cumbria. So I think that's really cool. It means they can get some more all year round training going, and the kids can get their skills up. Oral St James in Wigan. A new high-quality clubhouse, brand new change facilities, and 2 new playing pitches that will accommodate the club's expanding teams and players will change the fortunes of the club. The aim is to boost membership further and encourage more participants from the local community, with emphasis on growth in its girls and women's teams. And obviously, in that area, if they can keep pace with the other clubs in that local area on both codes, it bodes well. So that's good for them.
Yeah. Next one is this West Houghton? Is that how you pronounce it? West Houghton?
West Horton.
West Houghton. There you go. You see.
Yeah.
There you go. That's on the red side.
It's the pronunciation exchange, isn't it?
Yeah. I like this cultural exchange. So the West Houghton Lions in Bolton. Lions will create a new fully accessible clubhouse with new team and official change rooms, toilet, shower rooms, function room, offices and meeting rooms, as well as a new bar, cellar and kitchen. Fully appointed. This will create a community hub for the people of West Houghton and beyond, providing wealth of... What?
It's West Horton.
West Horton, Houghton, whatever.
Whatever we said. I don't even know what I said. I just said something different to you, to me.
Tomato. Providing a wealth of opportunities to improve their physical and mental well-being, while encouraging people from all backgrounds to play rugby league.
Yeah. Bolton, to me, is one of those areas. It's kind of on the fringe of the heartlands. I always talk about these towns that, to me, are on the fringe of the heartlands. Why we don't sort of have more of a presence in Bolton, given that Wigan is just the other side of the M61, sorry, is always kind of a strange one to me. So, but that's good. All-round facilities upgrade. And Dewsbury Moor ARLFC in Kirklees. The first phase of the project will see the club refurbish and extend the existing changing room pavilion to provide a new bar area, kitchen and dining area, purpose-built function room, new toilets, 6 new changing rooms with shower and toilets, including purpose-built female changing rooms. It will also include a gym and additional storage, as well as a car park and access improvements to service its existing users and the local community. The second phase will transform the current facilities at the club to provide a bespoke training area. So Dewsbury Moor, I always think of the kind of the tabloid stories that you maybe have linked to that area, as more so than the Burgess brothers coming through that area, and sort of think these are sort of an area that any kind of community projects investment is going to benefit massively, and it's going to give the club an opportunity to earn more money as well, to keep its good work in the community going. So I think that's another outstanding project.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I tend to know the West Yorkshire teams a bit better, but yeah, I mean, they all provide a valuable service to the wider community, don't they? So these are all good projects, and it's good that the word legacy is way overused in all spheres of life nowadays. But yeah, the more you can look at these kind of projects and say, well, actually that has happened because of that. That's it's no doubt a good thing.
This is how you achieve it, isn't it? And you'll have the plaque, and it'll be the inspirational, Rugby League World Cup 2021 fund and all of that, and 2 million's gone in so far. We've talked about other projects in episodes gone by in the last year or so. It's just all really positive, isn't it? And it fundamentally, re-emphasises that rugby league is its communities, and its communities are rugby league. That kind of nature of our sport being drilled into these working class, mostly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So it's great to get investment where otherwise you might not have seen it. So the Rugby League World Cup is going to create that legacy, and it's not just a case of having a few nice new post boxes, or a couple of new pieces of facilities down in London or whatever. This is going to benefit the North massively, like we're already seeing, which is so great.
That's great. Right, so moving on to slightly less positive news. Cronulla's Bronson Cherry is facing suspension from the sport after allegedly we should say, testing positive for performance-enhancing substances, including steroids, late last year. Cherry has been suspended under